Day 42, week 6 of building and being and creating my best self, my best life. Again, I think I say this every single week, but like the fact that it's been 6 weeks of committing to myself is really cool and awesome to say out loud. And I'm really proud of myself, no matter how much or how little I have or haven't done in the last 6 weeks. I'm still really proud of myself for following through this much. As far as opportunities go, sleep schedule has been a little off and I've just felt a little tired. So my workout schedule has been a little different. And while I've still worked out, it hasn't been like a consistent, oh, I'm working out at 5:30 in the morning kind of thing. I don't know how I feel about that. Because at the end of the day, I'm still exercising and my days are they kind of fluctuate based on just calls that I have for that day. And so, yes, I think having the hard routine can be really helpful. And also I'm not letting it stop me from actually exercising. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. Jury's still out. But I actually didn't hike this week, which was not something that I am super happy with, but also this week was a really weird week. I was very low energy all week long and it just kind of felt like a busy week in general. So again, not really gonna beat myself up over that one at all. But that just means that I get to look forward to it in the coming weeks. I think a couple things that I noticed, apart from just the sleep schedule being off and how that's kind of impacted things, with the feeling more tired, I am way less likely to want to get ready for my day. Also, I think between like the busy morning that I have and exercising later on in the day, it can be quite a challenge for me to actually get dressed and like put on real clothes. It is very easy for me to want to just wear my workout gear all day long, and while it's super comfortable, it is also not the most productivity mindset inducing thing to wear. That's not a thing, but it is now. But something that I do really want to lean into is just the environment that we create and the environment that we surround ourselves in really does matter and make a difference in how we choose to show up and what we do and how we all the things. So part of this journey is being mindful of how I dress and how I present myself and how I show up. There is a part of me for a very long time that I just don't care. I don't care what other people think. I don't care how I dress. I want to be comfortable. I want to be realistic with my day. And while I still want to do that, I also have found that working from home and staying in like athletic wear the whole day, while on one hand is nice, I also feel yucky a lot of times because I just feel very not put together. So I've been kind of running some experiments, and especially last week when I was feeling so tired, I've been running some experiments with, if I put real clothes, I'll call them real clothes, put real clothes on, how does that feel throughout my day? And Friday came around, and Friday might not have been like my best day to like really pay attention to it. But I did it Thursday too. That's right, I did it Thursday too. But I put pants on and a shirt on, did some makeup maybe, and I was super productive those days. Might have been productive out of necessity more than like I'm wearing real clothes, but for now it's a correlation, not a causation for now. But I am going to continue that trend into the coming week because I think it's important. I want to feel my best, and if taking 10-15 extra minutes in the mornings to just get dressed is what helps that, great. And also, again, back to the start of what even began this journey for me of what would my best self choose? Like, what is this future vision that I have for myself? and how would that version of me want to show up in my days. And so just keeping that in mind, nothing too crazy, but you know what, let's just start out with jeans, maybe a belt, a t-shirt, you know, pretty basic, not asking too much here. Also, I think more than that is way too unrealistic for me right now, but I did notice I felt better on those days. I felt more productive at work as well and accomplished in my days. But I think one of the biggest realizations that I've had this in week 6 is one thing that I don't want this to turn into is just, it's now a fitness journey. It's a physical health journey, because it's not. It is so much more than that. My physical health is absolutely part of it, and it's been important to me for, honestly, for as long as I can remember. And part of this journey is to come back to it. It's to find that consistency. It's to find that enjoyment again, and really get clear on that side of physical health. But more than that, I've noticed that is all I'm really kind of checking in with myself about, because it's easiest for me. And what I mean by easiest is that because it's something that I love, and that just is like a, of course I'm gonna do it thing, it's not quite as meaningful to me in my life and where I am right now. And so while I have some really big goals of like, I want to be able to squat a certain number, and I want to be able to do 10 pull-ups by the end, unassisted pull-ups, like I'm really excited for those goals. There is an importance that isn't quite there. And I think what it is, and I've learned this last week, is what I'm really wanting to focus in on more are my career goals, and like those skill building goals. And I don't have those. And I think part of it is because, one, those are just harder. They are just harder for me to not just set, but to be clear on, and they are harder for me to stick with. And I think because it's the scarier things. And they are the things that are harder to carve out time for. And as a people pleaser, everyone else's needs are more important than your own. Everyone else's timeline is more important than your own. And so it is so easy and natural to shove off what you want in your dreams and hopes and goals for other people's whatever they have. It's just for other people, period. And I have, like, full transparency, I've really wanted to write more in my life, and like not just journal. I love journaling, but like actually write. And I am so bad at that goal, even though I know that goal would be so meaningful to me. One, from the follow through, and two, just like wanting to build that skill. And I think writing is such a beautiful way to be able to communicate ideas, stories, and just share it with the world, and even if it's just your own world around you. But I haven't stuck with it. And I think because for me, in my world and my experience, having a writing goal is a much higher stakes goal than having a squat goal. And I point that way because Jim's that way. And so I think part of this past week 6 is realizing that I love my fitness goals. They are important to me, but there is a meaningfulness that is missing. And week 7 is really going to be dedicated to taking time to get clear on what would be meaningful. We're going to start small, so it probably is just going to be writing. Go ahead and spoil the surprise now. But I'm still going to sit with it. But what would actually be a meaningful goal to me? And what do I need in order to make time for that? And remember and remind myself that, like, my wants matter. Like, my dreams matter. The dishes can wait. The laundry can wait, unless, you're out of the essentials, then maybe you should probably put a load in. But like, truthfully though, like, so much of what I tell myself has to get done it can wait. So remembering that and just giving myself permission to show up for myself in the way that I want. And in fact, I was listening to a podcast that Seth Godin was on recently, and I think Seth Godin, I just want him to be like, I just want to be my uncle. He just seems like such a cool guy. But he brought up the question of, it's something along the lines of, what are the decisions that you have to make that future you will thank you for? And that has just been on repeat in my mind since then. And I think, yes, my health goals will absolutely be something I think my future self will thank me for. And I think not taking time for these career goals, these skill goals that I have, that will be something I look back on with a lot of regret for not doing. So coming in to week 7, really going to focus on spending time getting a little bit clearer on what are those meaningful goals, and how can I, and what do I need to give myself just a little bit more permission to pursue those, to build that consistency, just like I've done in the gym. I've done it in the gym. I know I can do it. How do I translate those skills and put it into my, not gym world, my career? I'll just call it my career world, because that's probably what it is, most truthfully. But otherwise, week 6 was super insightful, kind of a little bit of a roller coaster. But otherwise, I've got a game plan going into week 7, and I'm really excited for what week 7 will bring. So let's go do it.